It's all numbers.
It's all numbers, words and numbers. Electromagnetic tonal signatures of encryptions, like a lattice work of control, opening and shutting constellations of thought energies to create your own personal self-identity, reality, hologram. Do you know what I mean?
Sort of.
Absolutely.
But that's what it is, isn't it? It's mathematics, electromagnetic polarities, differentiations of expression. All things are different, but contained within the oneness of wholeness.
I say sort of because I like to sort it out.
Let.
And I go,
This is one of the key verses in the Bible. Let that mind that was in Christ Jesus be in you.
Yes.
Let it. Don't resist it, let it. Resist the devil, in other words, resist using the carnal mind, but let the mind of Christ be in you, and consider it not robbery to call yourself equal with God, who created you as the offspring of itself in its own image and likeness.
Was it Paul actually who said that?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes,
Doesn't
matter.
matter because Paul was one of the most enlightened.
You reckon?
Yeah. No, because there's lots of people against Paul, in the Bible teachings.
Puts women down.
No, it doesn't. It's a metaphor.
Oh,
Women, when you go into the churches, cover your heads. What does that mean?
Yeah.
Everyone here's a woman. Everyone here's a woman.
Mm-hmm.
We're all women.
But
When you go into the congregation, cover your head. Don't listen to the preacher. When you go home, go into your closet. This is your husband. This is the bride. Ask your husband. Yeah. It's a metaphor. He spoke everything in hidden mysteries.
Oh, I see. But it's been written. But that is
churches.
hidden, isn't it? I mean,
No, but in the old days, the way they used to learn was through mystery schools and symbolism, because they couldn't outwardly teach it because of the condemnation. So they used to put mysteries and concealments through codes, so that those who wanted to find out could actually use the symbolism to find out what it meant. And that's why.
And isn't it interesting that they actually did wear hats and cover their heads and stuff?
Yeah.
Back in those days.
Back in those days, and even now in churches, a lot of people go in with a head covering on because if they're women. And a lot of religious cults have got the dressings.
When we were young.
So that was just, because they didn't understand the mystery, they took it literally.
Yes.
But everyone is a woman. Everyone is receiver of a seed. What seed are you receiving? The incorruptible, undefiled seed of the at-one-ment, which is Christ in you, your hope of glory. That's what you're conceiving in the virgin mind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
when you say,
That's interesting.
when you say Paul was the most enlightened one, so he turned the corner when he was struck down and fell down and had the vision or something, because before then he was murdering Christians.
Yeah, but he was doing it very zealously. He was doing it with the utmost proficiency because he thought it was right.
Yeah, but totally, like...
Because he was protecting the religious Pharisaical cults, because he thought that law was the law, until he got enlightened to the fact that, the law is liberty that works in you, as Christ in you is the law of liberty. Until he found that out, he was zealously standing for the law, stopping everyone else who was trying to overthrow the law.
Oh, okay, that's an
He was
interesting
the first in
interpretation.
Eckankar, He was the first in Eckankar.
Oh, I see.
Oh, yes.
But also,
And he reappeared again as Paul Twitchell.
could be, but the thing is, it says that he was born outside of his time. He was the first one born, taught only of Christ. So he went into the wilderness for 15 years, into Arabia, and in Galatians it says he did not learn this gospel of flesh and blood, but he learned and received it directly of Jesus Christ.
But it
So,
totally changed my view.
yeah, you see, because I started to ask every question that was out there, and the thing is, it says he was born out of season, out of his time. The other 12 disciples were born knowing the flesh man, Jesus. Paul never knew the flesh man, Jesus. He only knew him by revelation and inspiration.
Yes.
Right?
Oh.
So our revelation is when you join together in the at-one-ment, your spirit becomes one with his. It says the Spirit of the Son is shed abroad upon your heart the love of God, so that your spirit will bear witness with his that you are the sons of God. And you cry out, Abba. See, when the Spirit of the risen one shines into your heart, stimulates your spirit of at one minute, and you join with that one, and you cry Abba, you cry Father, you cry God is me, right? But unless you're quickened on the inside, you'll never know the reality of the voice of the living one, right?
Zadok was the high priest at the time, and he taught Paul when he saw it happen. Jesus knew of Zadok, but
No, it was Gamaliel.
Gamaliel,
Zadok was King David's time.
Zadok comes in a few times.
Oh, I've been around a few times.
So do I.
I've been around the world a couple of times and maybe more.
And Jesus said, he knew of Jesus. They're on two different missions.
There's so many different stories. Cathara says there were three Jesuses. The Bible rolls it all into one. Okay, let's go. This is a prayer for safe passage.
We need a safe passage.
What it means is it will align you with an ascension portal kind of thing. And if you've got any attachments in your fields, which we all have some kind of ancestral lineages trying to work through our template to explain life, we can actually offer all of those that cling onto us the essential portal, and they can start to find their way up. It's just an opening door for them because they're depending on you.
What I remember was he was the Hugh Master. He became the Hugh Master before. And he got that through Zadok, who was a Hugh Master. And he also, Gamaliel, right? He was his teacher, but that was in the Pharisees.
That's right. I'll tell you more about that later. So this is a prayer for safe passage, and I can't remember always if I get it right, I'll be right. We sing it in two different tunes, and Chris is very good. She's not here today. She's very good at actually singing the first version, which I find very hard to start off on.
I didn't find it. Oh.
No, it's not in the new one.
Yes. It's the same crystal. Yes. Yes. It's the celestite. It's Shannon says it activates the dormant God seed within, or helps to activate the dormant God seed within. I mean, you can visualize it too. I mean, it's just a beautiful outer thing to.
It's the angelic stone.
Yes.
So, if you look at this prayer for safe passage, I'm trying to remember the first tune. If it comes out, it'll be right. So, just go along with us. You ready, Sylvia? Shwanakim Dana say Unvertum Abdallah Shane Ultravete Taisha Intadore Taisha Intadore Taisha Intadore Inshallah Deekba Nua Due Threshe Yasa Ali Umay Traina Ekesha Umay Traina Ekesha Umay Traina Ekesha Inshallah Deekva Nua Due Tashayasa Ali Ali Maitreya Ekasha, O Maitreya Ekasha, O Maitreya Ekasha, O
You know, it came to me.
That's it, Master. I said, you
To maybe you could do an invocation to connect the games, Olympic Games energies back to soul.
Okay, let's do that now. Shall I leave this rank? Yes, okay. So let's just focus now on our own original high and true power of love, peace and joy, goodness, rightness, justness, everything that is beautiful and wonderful, everything that is pleasing, and the true giving and receiving of life. Let us focus now on that true Christ within, that one above, the one below, the one within, and all the perpetual motion flows of our true Christic template of life. Let us know we have the power to transmute all base energies and distortion fields in this earth hologram, that all be healed and restored to unity and purity and wholeness of life. That we, being the guardians of the planet, here, fulfilling our mission, are in a steadfast stand as the Christic reality now to intervene, to bring divine intervention and protection, transmutation of rampant energies of destruction now, to dissolve them into workable energies of true power. As we take into our mind and consideration the Olympic game and all of the distortion fields of black magic that operate through the One World Order agenda, let us now take power over those dominions, over those powers and controls, and transmute and dissolve the intention of their schemes, their manipulations, all of their cunningly devised systems and devices and mechanisms that bring harm to the people of the planet and the creatures on earth. Let us now overwrite all distortion fields within their plans. As we rise above, see yourself rising far up above the planet, far up above. See yourself joining into your Christic realities now, in the full workings of your true power, divine right order, divine right timing within your own temples, and bringing now a transmutation wave from dimensions 13, 14 and 15 down into the matrix of this earth, down deep into the core, up through the gateways of the inner workings of the earth, into the atmosphere, magnetosphere, dissolving all control matrices that are operating the controls on this planet, broadcasting now the Christic mission through all existing channels that operate distortion fields in the earth. So that right now, right here, everyone who's tuned into the Olympics in the past and in the future over this period of Olympics will no longer be influenced by the codes, the ultra codes that come up through the television, through the subliminals, through the frequencies of the bell, and through all of those other distortion fields that are transmitting through the TV and the airways, that we would overwrite and dissolve those harmful codes, demolishing and diminishing, bringing down to naught, bringing down to nothing, all of those destructive mechanisms now by our true power to overwrite the corruption and transmute those energies into beautiful living structure again, so that the perpetrators who will work in those codes will feel an uplifting currency within their own anatomy, and a feeling of elation and a feeling of reunion into the structure of life, and be desiring now to join into perpetual motion, to turn away from the corruption, to deny access to those intruder race lines that operate through their templates. So now, as we take this power of a transmission and a broadcast into this earth hologram, let us override and overwrite the corruption and bring together a transmutation and a regeneration of living structure for all species on this earth right here in this time of the Olympics. Let's take a breath of air and blow into the airwaves with the intention to help those brothers and sisters who are trapped in the darkness to suddenly see their potentials within them being awoken and awakened and rising up with a new communication code in the midst of their beings, that they would see the error of their ways and have within their heart a way to turn away, to repent and to come into the living structure of life and to cast down from themselves all distortion fields, as we bless them in the living light and sound of this beautiful encryption of the crystal river flow, the overriding, overarching frequencies of life interpenetrating all fields of space-time now to blow a wave of true healing flowing through all the space-time realities to awaken them to their true power of love, of light, of liberty, of joy, of peace, of purity. So as this tower of light goes up and hits the ionosphere and wraps right around the globe, see it descending down as a mist upon all people, entering their own atmosphere as they breathe the particles of ionized light that we're transmitting through, as they breathe the very air that we are blessing at the moment. They will receive an uplifting current of life, a revivifying of the very atoms of their body with a message of love and remembrance of their true love and power.
We do the I-I-A-I-N-A-V-E. The I-I-A-I-N-A-V-E. Yes.
Hey, nave.
Yes.
Hey, nave. Hey, sa, ti, su, are, si, sa. Hey, nave. Hey, nave. Hey, sa, ti, su, are, si, sa. Hey, nave. Hey, nave. Hey, sa, ti, su, are, si, sa. Hey, nave. Hey, nave. Hey, sa, ti, su, are, si, sa. Hey, nave. Hey, nave. Hey, sa, ti, su, are, si, sa. Hey, nave. Hey, nave. Hey, sa, ti, su, are, si, sa. Hey, nave. Hey, nave. Hey, sa, ti, su, are, si, sa. Hey, nave. Hey, nave. Hey, sa, ti, su, are, si, sa. Hey, nave. Hey, nave. Hey, sa, ti, su, are, si, sa. Hey, nave. Hey, nave. Hey, sa, ti, su, are, si, sa. Hey, nave. Hey, nave. Hey, sa, ti, su, are, si, sa. Hey, nave. Hey, nave. Hey, sa, ti, su, are, si, sa.
What battery is that on?
It's one of the new ones.
You haven't got it?
we'll have to get a compilation of all the other add-ons.
Yes, I'll make copies.
It does sound a bit American Indian. A lot of those ancient Indian tribes were related to many star systems here, organic crystic realities. Yeah, and they got taken over, just like everyone on the planets got taken over by invaders, you know.
And this the purple rain, of course.
And from chakra 13, Earth Core, there's an uplifting of orbs, elemental orbs and entity orbs that rush up through Earth Core, right up through in about a 20-foot column all around you. Golden, silver light emanating orbs, and then descending is the purple rain that goes down, and they both blend together and build frequency.
In the pyramid code, you said. In that one, the pyramid code, remember all the orbs along it?
Yeah, there's many kinds of orbs like again. Here the dark side can do orbing technologies.
Yeah, it's energy, you know, consciousness or energy with consciousness, yes.
Because the dark side does orbs as well, right? And they can, you know, they can...
Be good or bad, light
consciousness. No. They have technologies, the dark side has a lot of technologies, not as high as the Christic technologies, but they can actually disorb, they can orbit themselves, they can span and scan orbs and stuff like that.
And
should we do one more song or something?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that Aya is the Anahazi term for God's source eternal.
Infinite, eternal one, undifferentiated, no sense at all, no movement, no colour, no sound, no vibration. It's just that Aya, outside of the matrix of the ultimate manifestation. Yeah.
When I jump in the car in the morning, I tune to every star, and then I do the Ayas, and then I do the I am prayer, I am child of the original one as I'm driving. So it's not my day.
Look, if you call true self source codes, I think you can. This is a fairly safe way at the moment for people who haven't got their own language coming in from their original self. Remember the angelic tongues that we have. Sometimes we've spent lifetimes as angelic realities that have also had some partial encryptions of distortion. So I'm saying, so it's like always ask for the most fine self-identity reality, original organic perpetual motion self to come in. Because remember, if you go to the core and to the outermost, these are the pure, and you're going to work these through space-time realities to dissolve any distortions in the realities in space-time. So the whole idea is to purify yourself through every level. Right? So that's good. How about we go to I Am the Sacred Son, page 23.
Another important number.
23.
I was born in 2030 in my previous life. So was my wife in the previous life. And my son was born on 23rd.
My daughter was born on 23rd. So this is called I Am the Sacred Son. We'll read the English part first. Oh, you haven't got the English on this one. Oh, underneath.
Yes, underneath.
All right. So let's read this out first. This one here. Is everyone ready? Sacred inner Son of the Divine Trinity, reflected outward through me. Still point of eternal peace, eternally, perpetually renewed. Light divine, now be empowered, strong, embodied, in full expression. Reassuring, comforting, sustaining, come forth in being, fully unto me in this space-time. The light, this I be, always and forever, radiant, glowing. The eternal divine flame, this I be, always and forever, divine love. Eternity and I are unified as one. Sacred inner Son, this I be, spoken as it is stated, I as this expression now. I am the Sacred Son. Yeah, it's a bit hard maybe for some of you guys to sing, but Silver and I will give it a shot, okay? And Ezra. Okay? Ishura Arun Trivecti Diamir, Ashalom Ta'inua, Oremata Adenita, Ashuita Takia, Oremata Isa, Ezureinot, Azurae Umeta, Isa Amorea, Heya Ete, Iura, He Yeshua Aru Umeta, Taisha Inta Kuntum, Taisha Inta So that's also a really nice little tune, that one. Nice little song. So I reckon we might just do one of the vows here. It's like an ordination level. Okay, it's on page 12 there, you guys. It's called the Declaration of the Maharata. Everybody ready? You got it, mate? Lubricated a bit, yeah.
You start catching it.
Stop it, you. Stop it. Stop broadcasting all those germs, you guys. So let's,
It always helps me. I keep taking this, pushing this weather.
I'll just read it. That's called the Ma'a Bivectus Declarium. Yeah. Declaratum. Declaration of the Maharata. Intention, decree as the personal D12 Christos Avatar Maharata self-identity. So this is your D12 blueprint. You ready? I decree now in this moment of knowing that all things here within me are henceforth restored to the original divine intention of the one self that is mine. I release now all bonds of manifest illusion that place veils of self-forgetting before mine eyes. I revoke all separations of duality through which my heart is rendered numb with dissolution and discord. In this moment I reclaim the whole of my condition, reaching forth into the depths of all creation to now call my spirit home. I am the sun of the radiant glowing. I am the heart of divine love. I am the still point of the face of all creation. I am the voice of the universal song. I decree now in full remembered knowing that I am all and we are one. In setting forth this decree of my eternal divine power, I shall render divine intention only, through which the all and I are equally served in the highest order of our collective best divine intentions. I call now unto the many selves and shadows ensconced within the illusions of time, and decree unto that I am this I am. I am the wind that brushes thy faces. I am the rain that renews thy field. I am the whisper of the breath of God within you. We now are the expression of divine heart, mind and hand. We are the rumbling hymn song of the earthen worlds of matter. We are the prana breath of God eternal manifest. We are the waters of eternal life forever outward flowing. We are the cooling life force flame of the cosmic fire expressed. In our union, now and always, declare we in our wholeness that all dissidence is rendered spent, all conflict now made healed. As divine name, your name, I, as we, the Maharata Kum by Vectors, D12, Christed Avatar Divine Blueprint Self-Identity, do now decree through the divine love, wisdom and power that is mine, to express now, as this moment, the condition of the Maha by Vecti un more, Christos beginning and ending now, completion of a manifest expression in its originally intended divine fulfillment, its past, present, future, full expression made in the present time, clearing all duality, disharmony and distortion, anchoring the divine Christos Maharata blueprint in the moment. Upon this invocation, divine intention is rendered manifest in all conditions to which I now assign. Just take a moment to assign this beautiful power to things in your life. Do it internally, or even if you wanted to speak it, you could speak it. So there's another thing here I like to read out sometimes.
When you say that prayer, we were saying that before, about the Olympics, I could see the absolute frustration of all the people wanting to fly their rockets and guns as the flying saucers all going on and constantly, and they just couldn't get the things to go.
Because it's just the divine intervention.
I see the Olympics as being a major energy attack on the planet at the moment, and I think we're sabotaged for it all changing.
Yeah, because we did a past and a future.
Yes.
We did a past and a future on that.
And then red. Yeah, it looks speckly and beautiful.
I didn't get that it was anything negative at all. I just thought it was what the human consciousness knows of, and they're doing it with good intention. The people, like if you had a cousin or a brother or someone in the Olympics.
Oh, they don't know. They don't know they're being used in the agenda.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that energy was there too.
Oh yeah, the innocence, the naivety is there.
Yes, the sincerity of people who
Yeah.
think it's for peace and
Yeah.
goodwill, and
See,
And that's how I saw it too.
because if you see the naivety of people and their ignorance of what's happening, you can see that they're just in with the consensus mind and participating with something that's acceptable. They don't know the esoteric codes of
My
life.
ego doesn't get involved, and they compete fairly.
Yeah, but I mean, all of that, the whole thing about the Olympics, the 5 rings, you know, and the middle one's black, which means it's a dark agenda. You know, all the esoteric symbol codes are there to show you what the controllers are using it for. The people who are there, just innocent, ignorant, they don't know what they're being used for.
I didn't know all that.
Oh yeah.
But it's on a white flag.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It's like all the symbols are there.
I wondered why the black one though.
The black one, sometimes they put a white one.
That's the races, isn't it?
No, it means it's a dark agenda.
It was also the, well, Aboriginals, but the dark races, each colour represents.
No. But those codes are north, south, east, west. That's the cardinal points, and the centre one is the black one, which means all the cardinal points are running a dark agenda. That's what the one world order is anyway. So all the symbol codes are all in there, esoteric symbol codes. Yeah, they're all there. But we're here to throw a new complexion on it.
Which is
So,
protected.
does
Transmission.
anyone know that now when they put up the fire?
Not many people are aware of it.
No.
They
So
don't know
it's
the-
just like a habit thing that's...
It's been accepted,
Yeah.
and people use it without knowing what it means.
Yes, that's what I'm getting at.
Getting tattoos with it.
People have got tattoos all over their body that have got symbol codes that energise your whole system. Not only that, but what do you see with your eyes, feel with your body? It's all coding your body. Right?
See that unusual sort of, what's it called, Zion, the way they've made Zion go around, and in the O, or the unusual looking O, it's got the 5 rings. Nobody knows. You ask what people ask them, what does that say?
No, but they have the audacity to say that the theme is Zion. Zion is
Did you know that?
Zion.
Zion.
Look up the protocols of Zion, you'll see what it's about. It's about the agenda, the dark hole agenda.
The black hole agenda.
Yeah, the black hole agenda. Zionism is look up the protocols of Zion on the internet, God, you'll see what
Protocols of Zion. The one world agenda that's, is the main, what we call the UIR, United Intruder Resistance. All the intruder race lines are uniting to overthrow the world, right? So they're working together to a certain extent to put the one world order into operation, which is already in operation, and it's virtually taken things out around the planet now. Right?
There's that song, remember? By the rivers of
Babylon.
for we remember Zion.
Yeah, because the original idea of Zion was a religious construct of a perfect state. Now, they've used that symbol as their symbol, and it's a black, dark agenda template now. It's not the same thing.
But how can they use the same symbol to make it mean something else?
They're using, because it's like when you're talking about heaven, what kind of heaven are we talking about? People use the same kind of terminology, but they've got a different spin on it.
It's technology, it's how you use it.
Yeah.
There's many versions.
It's like if you say cat to one person, they think of a vicious, nasty animal.
Yes.
Another person thinks, oh, it's
And
lovely.
the purring,
Soft.
yeah, gotcha.
Like a cross. A cross to some people means salvation, to others it means that's a weapon of crucifixion. It's, come to destroy people. Right? Torturing instrument. I mean, that's what's the duality of consciousness, right?
Where there's a double cross, right?
Yeah.
It is a double cross. Now tell me it's a double cross. We're double crossing you, right? So wake up. But people still go ahead. Exile is a double cross.
All of those codes are in there, and they use esoteric knowledge. That's why, Alexander the Great and all of those kings of the times past, they raided the Alexandrian library, and the Roman Catholic Church, they didn't burn the books, they took the books, and they've got 25 miles of a library under the Vatican of all this esoteric knowledge. When Hitler sent his armies out around the world to confiscate knowledge, the Bush government has gone into Iraq to find the hidden knowledge. It's all hidden knowledge in scriptures and tablets and everything else, so they can gain the esoteric advantage over the world to dominate through war. Right?
So that was written before Atlantis, was it?
Well, a lot of stuff is very ancient. Sumerian texts, even older stuff than that's been found as well. Chinese got a lot of it. Got a lot of archaeological stuff down there.
Wasn't Zion spelled with an X? Zion.
TZ in the Hebrew, sit, Zion.
A lot of stuff. The ordinary person doesn't know. A lot of learning to figure it all out.
You got to know how to connect the dots.
I'm an ordinary person and I don't know much of my learning.
Well, if you look at that DVD I gave you on the Olympics, it sort of shows you how to pull all the letters out of that emblem to read Zion. Right? And it also gives the Zion protocols all with it, what it's all about. But I still think that it's a good team that is using Zion to sort of blackmail. Do you know that?
Look, there's always the duality.
The duality.
It's like the United Nations. To most people in the world, they drop off food, they help people re-educate and everything else. But the other, no, they got that face. They got a face that says we are helping humanity. But they've also got the face that's starting every revolution in every country.
So they can help.
So they're not helping anyway. They're destroying, but they've got a public image of we're helpful. So if they've got acceptance in the public eye, it enables them to carry out their agenda underneath to pillage every country.
So it's how you see it again that would feed it too, wouldn't it?
You can add energy into it, even me talking about it.
Yes,
but,
that's what I mean.
but it's good to show people that the dichotomy of every agenda, like protect the children. So people pay money into that, and it's funding pedophilism. Okay? Because the people who are attracted to that kind of thing are pedophiles, right? And it's like everything, it's like cancer. Find a cure for cancer. What does it do? They take all the money to create cancer, right? It's like everything's got two faces, right? Pay into this organisation, charity. It's funding the exact thing that they're saying they're trying to help, right?
But
And it's
is
fact. Yeah. If you look down and track down the people who have organised and who sit on the committees and get paid vast amounts of money to actually corrupt things, right?
But what about the other side to that, the people that are in that organisation that are actually doing
They're being used. They're being used with a good intent. They think they're doing the right thing. That it's all compartmentalisation. Like in this compartment, you'll know this amount of information. You don't know up the line what's caused that, and down the line you don't know what's down the line. Or you might know what's down the line because you're above it. But compartmentalisation keeps people separate from all the knowledge that works together. Pyramid control.
It's like,
It's part of what they said, the protocols of Zion. When you read through the protocols of Zion, you see, we will use the education to do this. We will do this and we will do this. Put them all down, all the protocols.
they say that they funding money for cancer, for cures. There's already natural cures out there and things like that.
They don't want a cure because they're making money out of the sickness. And they're creating more and more sickness so they can fund more and more treatments for it, right? I mean, honestly, it's just business, business, business. People are making a living. And that's why everything's coming to a crunch now, because everyone is denying their own true source, their God reality, and they are robbing from other people around them to make a living against God. So,
That's what worries me a little bit about dwelling on these things. Like, in a sense, aren't we feeding it?
you can be, but at the same time, if you're ignorant of it, how would you ever change it?
Right.
No, so it's like...
So if you were connected, you know, heart and source of Christ, light in,
You don't know the problems there until you look.
If you're blind and ignorant of any problems, you just think it's all beautiful. All consciousness is connected together. You can't separate yourself from consciousness, but consciousness must all change. So therefore...
Okay. So if you were just bringing in that pureness, wouldn't that just all go out there?
It does.
Instead of sort of thinking and dwelling
Yeah,
on...
we don't want to dwell on it, but we've got to be aware that it's there so we can help you change it. Because
Light is information.
But won't the light just change it anyway?
in some ways it'll give the information so that every person could take responsibility to change themselves.
Yeah.
Because I can't change his faults, but I certainly can shine light on his faults so he can see them, and I've got to be aware that there are faults. Because
Learning, aren't we?
if everyone didn't have any faults, you could just...
Oh, you wouldn't learn, yeah.
And that's why this work, Ashiana says, a lot of New Age teachings are just love and light. But she said, there's love, light, and clueless. You've got to know what's going on, how it works, exactly what the strategy is, how everything's working together, and see what's not fitting in, so that you can actually say, I'm going to cleanse that in myself. Because if you didn't see the dark spots, you wouldn't be able to cleanse it in yourself.
But can't you get to the process where you've seen all that dark, because you know it goes on, you know full well, you're getting bombarded by news, television, and everything else, that you choose to bypass it and just go to it.
We, in a more mature consciousness, we're doing that.
Right, gotcha, okay.
We're doing that because we know we can, because it's our best advantage and the advantage of everyone. We're putting healing codes into the grids, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you don't know that all these strategies are going on, like it's esoteric science, how certain powers, I mean, for example...
So you keep giving your power to things that are wrong.
That's right. If you give power to things that are wrong, but we know
you
they're
don't
wrong.
know about it.
I can bills, you
Well,
mean?
Yeah, I see.
because people were ignorant that religions and organizations
It's
No,
not
you
around
condone it.
enough.
You're condoning it. You're giving them power by letting them continue on what they're doing. So you,
Yeah,
for
but I
instance,
don't
probably,
send that light and the power to
put this
that
way,
area.
do you know that the CIA is actually run by the Nazi Party?
No.
See, there you go. Therefore you
But
think
I don't
CIA
use any of the power anyway. I don't think about it.
Intelligence
I don't
agency.
know.
And what's the fire brigade?
Yes, but
CFA.
in a position I'm in, I know these things, and I'm not going to let people keep going around saying, oh, yeah, Syria's great. Look what they're doing over in Syria. They're doing a great job. They're trying to get rid of this corrupt government. And the government is good, but unfortunately, they're being seeded by two sides of the CIA.
See, I suppose what I'm saying is I don't buy into it. Let them do as they...
We don't want to buy into it, but at the same token,
It's going to affect you.
this whole teaching is all of the consciousness must be transformed
Yes, yes.
because we're all attached to every part of consciousness, and if a lot of it's fallen down, we need to be able to interact with it. See, now, if people did not know that we've been intruded upon by race lines over billions of years, if they didn't know that, and they thought that this here was the organic evolution of consciousness, science is the way,
It's all beautiful.
right? It's all beautiful, we're evolving with the smartest race in the universe and everything else, right? No. We've been intruded upon through billions of years of race line mixing and hybridisation, infiltration of our codes and fields, and we're being sucked down the black hole because of our attachment to it. By looking at the darkness and examining the darkness, we can transmute those codes and bring those codes back to light. When you bring that dark code back to light, it revivifies that part of structure, which will actually end up converting all of that back to light.
It's sort of like then you need to put acceptance around it and thank it for the lessons.
Yeah.
Well,
In a
that's,
positive.
yeah, because we've got to find it in ourselves as a lesson.
Yes.
You know, like
And
I
we
look
look
at-
ourselves and other people.
I look at my brothers and sisters caught in darkness. They don't know they're in darkness, they're suffering. They're suffering through ignorance. Ignorance is darkness. So, you know, in a way, as the Christed ones, we can shine the light to those darkened ones.
Well, they think we are.
Well, this, the old saying is, in the end,
Or it's cycles.
they'll call evil good and they'll call good evil in the end, because the consensus of the mindset is what we're doing is right because right is might or might is right. There's more of us, therefore we must be right.
There's democracy. Democracy.
It all comes down to the truth that unless we look at the darkness, we won't find the treasure that's hidden in the darkness.
Yeah, it's a bit of both.
So you have to be able to define it, recognize it, define it, own it, and then you can deal with it.
Rather than ignore it or whatever. Because we're all one. If
Instead of being denial, it's a question of like if you're in denial of something, you can't really deal with it and get rid of it. Then you haven't power, you're being manipulated when you're in denial.
And take responsibility.
Being told that there's so much light being down on us now that it will awaken the consciousness anyway. It can't help but do that. And the ones that won't awaken to it, won't accept it, will go to another realm.
Well, that's the division point that we're right in now, 2012 decision time.
Yes,
We're right in that
exactly.
now. And it all depends on how these creatures are coded. If they're coded very, very deep, dark genetic coding of separation, they will have very, very little light quotient to enable them to awaken.
And so if they can't awaken, they'll be taken, because this earth is going to, well, it's going to be heaven on earth.
Well, that's one of the old mindsets, but everything's shifting so much at the moment. Is it going to happen that way or not? There's another one we're going to read here, which I love in actual fact, because it does talk about that probability.
It is getting darker. You notice that Nellie, every time you get up early in the morning, you see these chemtrails going overhead.
Yes, but I'm working
It's
with
darkening,
those
so there's not so much light getting
chemtrails
through the
to
chemtrails.
transform and transmute those back into the light. So
But they're still doing it.
they are still doing it. They're not very clever about the way they're doing it now.
They're using UFOs now to do it.
Yeah, they're doing it differently.
They can do the whole sky in about 5 minutes. They've got 20,
Oh, my
30
goodness.
UFOs just going like this. Man-made UFOs, of course, We can't identify them, but somebody knows what they are.
So,
Actually, you're flying just.
Then there'd be an IFO, an identified flying object.
Yeah, everything is. There's no such thing as a UFO anyway, because somebody knows what they are.
yeah.
Somebody knows what they are.
Yes, indeed.
One that's cosmologized knows what they.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
So
interesting.
I work to transform and transmute that rather than doing.
I speak to the powers and principalities and rulers. I speak to the perpetrators and the infiltrators. I speak to the darkness and tell them of their opportunity to come into the light.
Yeah, so you're attacking it or dealing with it from that way, aren't you? Yeah.
I'm dealing with it in a way that I've been shown,
Yes.
is to go back. See, because if this body is the representation of lineages that have fallen away in separation from perpetuation of life, yeah, the genetic coding of my race lines that brought this body here have lineages that go right back to the first point of fall. I'm speaking through the space-time corridors right back to speak to my ancestors and tell them of the good news that they had hope in their children would overcome. So I'm one of your children, am I overcoming? I'm telling you great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, mother. I'm telling you how to do it yourself, and you can reinstall the original codes right now and bring it back through space-time lines. So we're actually working from time, through time travel. We're working through time.
Is that because if we're in the alignment now, that
Well,
opportunity zone?
there's much more frequency to carry through many, many timelines. And everything, all the timelines are merging on Earth at the moment. Earth is Universal Stargate 3, Sun is Universal Stargate 4 of the whole universe. So these are very, very powerful spots.
How many stargates are there?
12 Stargates, right, of the original
We
ones.
wish to have two in our side.
That's right, that's why it's hot property here at the moment. There's many race lines incarnating here, trying to get a lift up off. Some of them want to infiltrate higher dimensions of black hole, and that's why they're going to be quarantining this galaxy within 200 years, because they don't want the infiltrators to go to higher dimensions. But in this alignment,
It'd be good to bring them to the light.
no, they've got to,
No, they don't want to.
they've got to find it in their density. So in other words, you can't migrate because your vibration oscillation is different. You can't get off this frequency until you do the work within yourself to elevate off it. Right? So if you want to do the work to elevate off it, you've got to go into a hosting planet under guardianship, like we are under guardianship, so that you can have the opportunity to regenerate your structure and through your intention ascend up and clear all your codes that drag you down. That's what we're here for now.
And is that why they're saying that you have to be on Earth in order to do that?
You've got to be in a body.
Yeah, gotcha.
You've got to work it out through your body.
That's the way I like to see it.
So that's sort of very much like with that woman, Caroline Mace, where she said there's people who they don't want to give up their sicknesses and illnesses because you've got nothing to talk about. So they're still in the dark,
Yes, they are indeed.
right? Until they say, no, I don't want to be sick anymore. I want to work on this.
Choose my healing now.
Yeah, there's a payoff.
Well, there's a lot of dark people who've got that problem.
Yeah.
I've got one woman who's got lupus, and I knew her, it's back 400 years ago, and she got lupus for the simple reason is she threw one of the clan's children into the fire, and I rescued that child, right? Well, she's got lupus now because she will not face the fact that she's got lupus. She knows she's got lupus. But if you try to help her with the lupus, she doesn't want to know you, because she does this carrying it forward, so this bad lupus on.
That's the attunement she's got, that's the spirit that's operating, and that's what gives her status.
And she can talk to people about what I did, you know.
But I got lupus.
Send compassion.
Isn't it interesting?
They're funny creatures.
Yeah,
Until you get a taste of that Christ, until you get the fragrance from the garden, until you feel the presence of that living one, you won't have the inkling to go towards the fullness of it. You've got to have a taste, a foretaste.
That's why we're all here.
And it's like you can't help yourself, then you just...
It's luscious, it's luxurious, it's scrumptious, you know.
What else really matters, you know.
Just like having a life with a stroke and all the rest of it. It's wonderful. having been sent into the cycle with them. You learn. You can't learn if just bringing down a light and sniffing roses all the time. You've got to actually go into the positions of problems
And my
that
first
experience
organisation when I was
and come through it.
I think we've all seen the light in some forms. Eh? Let's speak this one out, because this speaks of Imagina's desire to see the earth lift up is what this one speaks about.
Oh, lovely.
And
That sounds good to me.
and this is on page 21. It was one of the original possibilities back in about 2005 or 6 or something. Okay, and so things are shifting and changing all the time. Other probabilities might occur anyway. So it's called the Declaration of Christian Intention. Has everyone got it? Okay. It's from the Signet Rainbow Round Table opening prayer, used to invoke the personal Christos presence and to summon the command of healing intent. Okay, so let's go. Blessed be in the name of the one true God and ever Holy Spirit that joins us all in this gathering today as the universal children of God, asserting in the divine Christed stand. Blessed be the hearts, minds, bodies and spirits of all gathered here, as with pure and impeccable intention we set forth with full decree to the loving one true source of God creation. Let my will be thy will. Let my action be thy action. Let my love be thy love. Let my power be thy power on this day. And may we now gathered here serve as the vessels for thy good works and everlasting intention. On this day we present call into action the love, truth, power and glory of our eternal Christ within. On this day we in our Christ's power and love set forth to reclaim and again sanctify the ever-holy divine Christian divine blueprint of this sacred land called earth, in the name of all that is holy, just and true, and on behalf of the original intentions of the one true God, and all beings in all worlds who have long suffered to protect God's will intact. In our Christ's presence now, and upon decree and application of the power and love of our eternal Christ's fire within, we go forth now to victory in the long-awaited fulfillment of the divine healing and resurrection of this earth to its holy Christed status. May we present humbly open our hearts in only the Christed way, to be touched now by the truth of divine joy, freedom and love, as our long-burdened earth mother and all beings who have passed through her womb are now returned to the Christ fold of eternal light, sound and divine right order. May we once again welcome our beloved earth into God's house of many mansions, as an officially recognised member of the Universal Association of Free Worlds. On this day we celebrate the victory of Earth's triumph over the forces of darkness and chaos that have presided here over the previous cycle. Today we humbly assist the many guardian races of the God worlds in ushering Earth and her peoples into a new and lasting cycle of Christed love and divine right enlightenment. May we, as we go forth now in victory, offer an intention of healing love, freedom and remembrance to all races and beings of all universes, and a special prayer of unconditional Christian love and forgiveness to the fallen beings still ruled by the merciless forces of chaos. May all be healed in loving Christian victory. By the loving power of my own Christos, it is decreed, and by such love it is done.
That's me exactly. You've got it, Brad.
So
exactly where I'm sitting.
that there was about a 2005 or 6 probability line for the Earth I still hold that this one can come back up online.
I believe it has come back, but it's got to
Could
spread.
it be that this probability line is happening and there are those who kind of jump on board, who kind of offset consciousness, you know? Yes. Rather than
If that
just being
becomes
yes.
strong enough, then it's got to touch others. We're one.
Yes.
And do you know how you can change it? You know, like I said about going back in time and teaching this reality that we know now back then to all that you're in touch with, and continue learning under the Guardian Alliance and continue building. If you do that in every timeline, what's happening now behind the scenes, all the appearances that are happening on Earth now in this hologram, behind the scenes there's a reordering and a restructuring of the energies and probabilities, so that what's going to burst onto the stage now is something that's been pre-written as an alteration back in time and forward in time. It's now converging at this moment.
Sounds good to me.
Bounce onto the fields here as this is what we've done because we can time travel, because we can have an intention in every moment, because we can see our problems and faults and correct them in space-time. We have the power to oversee everything.
Change history.
Change history. Change history by going back through the nodes of shifting and changing and weaving of the patterns of time. We can get back and we can change the past to create a new future.
We have to. The past is our future.
And that's why I feel that this particular one that we read, which is so lovely and delicate and beautiful, was the original intention for Earth. The regenesis of Earth and the evolution of species and the Earth moving into higher dimensions as a wholeness, that was the original Christiac model. But it got distorted by race lines and all the rest. Everything that's going on now in this very, very fast time, there's a lot of probability fields coming. But a few people with a mind of intention can do that intervention back in space-time and change probabilities. That's my personal feeling on it.
But back when Earth was like that, it was like when she was the Virgin Mary, the Virgin Earth.
Well, Earth has never ever reached a pinnacle of power. Since it fell down from second dimension into this dimension, it's always been in a state of regenesis. Let me evolve, let me come back. Let the Guardians come on and operate hologram.
She allowed it.
Well, she fell out. I mean, Earth was a product of a fall. She came down as a molten mass, and it took a number of years before inhabitants could come on to help regenerate. See, because it's not always been looking like this. It's in a fairly good state, really, considering what it fell from.
And where it's been.
Where it's been.
And humanity has done some terrible things.
Yeah, but it's the intruder race lines that work through humanity that causes the problems.
And some good, though.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Oh, look, some lovely,
Very lovely.
you know, the things that we do as Christic beings and as true intention of divine love, things that we want to do have been beautiful, authentic, wonderful. But progressively over time, the infection of the intruders has gone through every system in society and polluted and corrupted the minds of everyone to some degrees,
So
various degrees.
now, I'm trying to bring that back.
You're taking a personal responsibility.
I am.
We're taking a personal responsibility.
Yes, by being here.
We want to participate with the true agenda. Not even the word agenda is not very good, but what we call the Christic Regenesis mission. The original people who came onto the earth, they were given the mission to regenerate structure of the hologram, animal species and everything, to evolve out.
Human angels?
Well, they're angelic humans.
Okay, that's what I mean.
Angelic humans, where the angelic is your spiritual nature, the human is your matter-based nature, and the angelic and the human coming back together re-spiritualizes matter, and you can take your body up. Right?
Oh, we would start as well. Human angels.
See, when you're doing all that, I was remembering that book, Galkaringa, about the Pleiadian exogenous coming across here and affecting the Aboriginal, or the ones who became the Aboriginals.
Or the originals.
Or the originals, yeah. And of course you mentioned rainbow right at the beginning of that there. Well, the rainbow is referred to the Pleiadians.
Well, it's the seven sisters, yeah?
That's right. And at the moment we've got the Pleiadians who are bringing their spaceship Ra here, right? That's,
Don't forget though, every
but
set
that's from Zion,
Yes.
the city of Zion, which
Don't
must be
forget
on
all of the race lines have got certain members that are fallen and certain that are in the Christic realities. There's factions and factions within the race lines. So
Are there any pure ones out there?
well,
Not everything, right?
only if they're up above any distortion fields, but they've got to come down into the distortion fields and embody themselves to express, and that's what we're
So
here
they
for.
have to come down into them.
Because it has to be anchored in. It has to be anchored in, because the matter and the spirit become the new homogenized, harmonics.
So when we chose to incarnate here, we had to take on something of density,
Yeah.
story.
That's the normal
to
organic system
evolve
anyway.
from.
The normal organic incarnation would be, if it's in an organic system, you would descend down from above and then come into density, and you would incarnate in the low density and spend time cycles of experiential reality building your living memory of self-identity, and then you would evolve back up again, and you'd have the full range of inheritance within those realms. You could go in and out of those as you wanted because you spent time and you built the whole energy field of that. Right? And God's self would know itself through those because of you and because of the others who are working together.
And then spirit and soul combine, don't they, to be that one?
What we talk about in this, we talk about the incarnate, which is what we are. Our spiritual identity is incarnating into the flesh. This flesh is called carnivore, carnal. It's the carnal mindset. So the spirit is incarnated into the flesh to overcome the flesh distortions.
But it does it like 8.
Well, it's like this is the carnal. You've heard of the carnal mind?
Yes.
The carnal mind is the mind of separation from God. In other words, it's a mind that has frequencies that are not attuned to God's source, but the sharing of the mind has caused the matrix. So it's the carnal mind. So we came in as a spiritual mind into a carnal body to overwrite the corruptions of the carnal mindset held within the body. So the first level is called incarnation. The next level is called soul, which is harmonic universe 2. Next level is oversoul, harmonic universe 3. Next level is avatar, harmonic universe 4. Coming out of the 12 dimensions into Rishi. Coming out of Rishi into Adashi, which is the return cycles into source. Adashi 1, 2, 3. So you come out from source, go through time cycles in the outer worlds, you work through the time cycles and go back into God's source, replicate, come back out again as many more expressions. That's the organic. Well, we probably have done a few times some of this. Some of us may be your first time journeys in that, I don't know who's what, but,
Christ will.
Well, Christ, yeah. The original Christ has come and gone hundreds of times. He says, glorify thou me, Father, with the glory I have with you. You've glorified me many times, glorify me again. Glorify me again. You've done it many times.
Yeah. So that's the road.
Anyway, let's go.
How long is the meditation?
Oh, there's just 2 or 3 we can have there from the first flame body.
That's in the phase now.
Oh, right. So let's just turn off, have a cup of tea.